Ladies and gentlemen, we got someone you guys have been thinking about probably, Mr. Ronnie Oneal. Now, we had prosecution cross-examine his son last time, right? So now we're going over to Ronnie Oneal himself, and he's going to cross-examine his son. So first prosecution, examine his son, tells everything, pretty much damning evidence, tells us what rooms they were in, what happened after he left the room, everything. Even kind of leads up to the fire. Now, we're going to have Ronnie Oneal. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go to my other video and check it out. But we're going to see him cross-examine his son this time. So let's go ahead and get into it. Everybody get what you need, as usual. I just got the straight-up water today, Let's get into this.
Good.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
He says, good to see you, man. Man, if it was good to see him, you wouldn't have been trying to set his ass on fire.
Do you remember talking to some attorneys that came to see you? And they said that they were there on my behalf by the name of Jennifer Spradley, Carolyn Schindler.
What's the objection?
Improper impeachment.
I'm not impeaching.
Okay.
I'm asking questions.
Well, the question on the table is if he recalls the attorneys coming to see him. He can answer that question as far as yes or no, but then we'll see what the next question is. So you can go ahead and answer that question. Do you recall that event happening?
Yes.
That hair is crazy. You guys said he looked like a Simpson character. I promise you he do, right? That shit is wild. Y'all put your comments down again, but he do look like a Simpson character. I can't think of the name, but all of us are thinking about him. That shit is what, like, so what I'm assuming is he grew that in jail. You know what I mean? He must have had the prison house sister or somebody do it. And when I mean sister, it's a brother, but you know what I mean? It's a sister. But, yeah, that's actually wild. To grow some shit like that while you're in jail, you already know you crazy. Shit. Florida people.
Do you remember doing things with me? As far as things in the neighborhood and going to family events and things like that?
Objection, relevance.
I'm going to sustain the objection. So, Mr. Oneal, your questions have to pertain to issues that were raised on direct examination, all right, as part of your cross-examination. So I have sustained the objection, so do not answer that question, okay? Next question, Mr. Oneal.
Do you remember doing an interview with Detective Dirks?
Yes.
Did you guys go to basketball and football games and things like that together?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you guys go to a Bucks game together?
Yes.
Imagine how that must feel. You tried to take him out. You tried to, extinguish him from this earth, basically. And now you asking if another detective took your son to a Bucks game. Like, bro, you should have been taking him to the game. Over here trying to exterminate the entire family because you're a psycho. And like I said, the whole reason, man, he was tired of the disabled daughter. He was tired of having a bitchy wife. And he was tired of everything. I'm telling you, that's the reason. And instead of just, manning up, leave, nah, he just had to go and take everybody with him, apparently. Something.
Did you guys talk about anything that happened that night?
No.
No. At any time, did he talk to you about those things and tell you what to say here today?
No.
What about your new dad, Richard?
No.
Even the fact that he said, "What about your new dad?" Kind of like, oh yeah. The responsibility is off of me. What about your new dad? You know, the one that's taking care of you now. You know, because I'm clearly not your dad no more. Like, bro, that is some deadbeat shit right there. Not gonna lie to you, some deadbeat shit. Like, shit.
You see me beat your mom?
No.
Did you see me shoot your mom?
No.
Oh, I thought he. Okay, all right. So things are coming out because there was one time the son said he put the gun around his fingers and helped them shoot it. So I guess it didn't go off. I don't know. I guess he was trying to help him and then he changed his mind. But okay, so he didn't see him shoot his mom. He didn't see any of that. He didn't even see him hit her, which I thought he saw everything. See, which that's crazy about prosecution and police officers and all that. They'll paint this picture, and if you're not paying real close attention, you'll think that he did all this extra shit. Now, obviously, he's a monster. He did all this crazy shit, right? But the way they were questioning the son made it seem like the son was watching this entire thing play out, which is not the case. Okay.
You remember doing an interview with a woman named Jennifer Miller? Did you hear me? Jennifer Miller?
No, I do not remember.
Another thing I'm gonna say about his son, he be answering all slow and shit, but those pauses that he's taking, I think his son is really thinking. And you know, I think it's a trait of a smart person to kind of like pause and think when you ask them a question, you know, that type of thing. So it just kind of goes to show, you know, how intelligent his son really is, which is fucked up to think that he just was trying to get rid of all three human beings, his wife slash baby mama, his daughter, and his son. And again, his son is like a little mini me, bro. Looks like him, has the same name as him. Like, I'm sure his name has changed recently, but how are you gonna kill your mini me, bro? That shit is crazy. Your minion, you know what I mean? The homie. How can you do that? Shit.
Well, you did do an interview with her. And you told her.
Objection, improper impeachment.
What are you getting ready to ask him next?
About a question that I just asked.
Okay, so if he did the interview with Jennifer Miller? and
No, well, before that, about him seeing me shoot his mom.
Okay, well, go ahead and ask that question then.
And he told me. So I believe that's improper impeachment.
Well, you have to identify what record you're relying upon as far as the statement goes.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was about to do that.
I know, but you have to identify for the record, so you need to give the state the heads up on.
One big difference between Brooks and Ronnie Oneal, I'll tell you guys from now, is pretty obvious. He keeps a respectful face. It might not mean that he is respectful or he you know means to be respectful, but to be honest, he keeps it respectful with the prosecution and the judge. Brooks, on the other hand, is a complete just mean asshole dickhead, which is, I think subconsciously you get lighter sentences if you're just a nicer person. Even though he did just as equally terrible shit, maybe Brooks was a bit higher up there because he took out a whole school of people. But you know, being cordial goes a long way, even when you're the bad guy.
Did you know that you told them that you never went outside with your mom before the police arrived? Do you remember telling them that? She asked you, she said, okay, so is your mommy ever inside of the house when anything is set on fire? And you said, no, she was outside. And she asked, okay, and are you ever with your mom outside the house? And you said, no. Do remember telling her that?
Yes.
You do. Right? Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
Hell yeah, you did.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
You stabbed me.
Damn. Straight up told him what was happening. So he's doing this Daryl Brooks thing. He's like, isn't it true that you told this person such and such? Now, apparently the mom stayed inside the house, right? After he took her out, right? After he took her out, she stayed inside the house and he lit the place on fire. Now he's asking his son, like, isn't it true that you told the detective that your mom was not in the house when the fire started? And he was like, yes. Bro, when there's a lot of trauma happening and a lot of crazy shit happening, small details like that are always going to get mixed up. The fact of the matter is that he remembers you. You know, he remembers the gunshot and he remembers you dragging his sister. That's pretty big evidence. So we have that evidence right there already. Then we have FBI agents, not FBI. Then we have police agents that come through, say that it was positive for arson. He set the place on fire purposely and all the other evidence. Like, come on. There's too much to go against. There's way too much evidence. The only thing you could do now is try to explain why you did it. You know what I mean? You have your son talking against you, and we have a shitload of evidence, and we have proof that you tried to burn the house down, which only screams to me that you were trying to burn more evidence. You know, come on.
Second interview.
Judge looks like she always has like a partial smile on her face, and it's throwing me off. It's like she's just like, what's with the smile, dog? Like, I know it's not a smile, but
March 26, 2018. Don't remember the time, but it was official.
Who was the interview with, Mr. O'Neill?
The interview was with Detective Dirks,
Okay.
page 20 of 23. Do you remember telling Detective Dirks after he asked, did your dad hurt you the night that he hurt your sister? And you said, no, he didn't hurt me. Do you remember that?
No.
see, that's crazy. I dropped my earrings. Because prosecution is not objecting to these statements. Therefore, he did say these things. So, I mean, it does make the witness look a little weaker. Like, no, he didn't hurt me. Yes, he did, blah, blah. But, I don't know. It makes him look weak, but at the same time, it also makes him look like a child, which he is. You know, you went through so much bullshit. You went through so much trauma. You're bound to mess a few things up. And I mean, the evidence is on the kid's body. You know what I mean? He's burnt. He has some burns on him, like all that. So, you know what I mean? Like, even if he said no or he doesn't remember, clearly that's what happened, in my opinion. I don't know.
And you said just a while ago, I stabbed you with a knife, right?
Yes.
Detective Durst, interview number 2, March 26, 2018, page 9 of 23. Do you remember telling Detective Durst when he asked you, when did he hurt you with a knife? And you said, I don't know. Do you remember that?
No, that's very
Yes.
fucking valid. That's very, hold on, pause this. That's very damn valid because when you really get hurt and that adrenaline starts pumping and there's just chaos happening, you look down and be like, oh, I'm shot, or oh, I got stabbed. Like yeah, hell yeah, he don't know when he got stabbed. All he knows is mom's just got blasted away, sister got dragged out here like a fucking piñata, and all of a sudden I'm in pain being dragged all over the place. No, I don't know when I got stabbed. You know what I mean? Like shit. But it happened though. It surely happened. Just like his explanation where he was like, nah, he didn't hurt me that night. Yeah, he did. You were probably just blacking out. You know what I mean? Like, But kids don't understand, like, oh, I was blacking out, I was really hurt, or maybe I'm blocking things in my head to not remember. But hey, it's enough info to get this guy sent to jail forever, pretty much.
And then Detective Dirks asked you, was it the same night or was it before that? And you said, no, it was another day. Do you remember that?
Sorry, repeat that again?
Detective Dirk says, was it the same night or was it before that? And you said to him, no, it was another day.
The cameraman needs to get fired, bro. The cameraman needs to get fired. Please, never bring him back to a courtroom ever again, bro. What type of shit is this, bro?
And
We
he
could see
said,
the water bottle on the table. Why is it? Oh my goodness, bro. I hate the cameraman ruining this
was
shit,
that
bro.
the same night you came to the hospital for all this or something else? And you said to him, something else. Do you remember that?
I don't understand.
All right, I'll pose the question again.
Well, do you recall telling Detective Dirks that? Yes, no, or I don't know?
Why I got hurt? Like,
No, he asked you, when did it happen? That night. He asked you, when did your dad stab you? And he said, was it that night or was it something else? And you replied, it was something else.
no, I do not remember saying that.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, these interviews are going right after the event happened because they need to take it with a fresh mind and all that. But again, what was he, 8 years old? You're 8 and you just got stabbed. Like, you're not going to be all there.
So he hurt your sister first and then went outside? And you replied, no. Yeah, and pretty sure. Do you remember that?
Question is, do you recall telling Detective Dirks that statement?
No,
What do you remember happening after the shooting with your mom outside?
you coming back inside and you getting my sister and then putting her in my parents' room and then you hit her with an axe.
Damn. So he did take the mom outside, apparently. I don't know. Shoots her outside, comes back inside, grabs the daughter, takes her to her mom's room, and does a fucking finisher on her. That's the most heartless shit. That's the most heartless shit you ever heard in the wild, guys. And to do it to your own kids. I mean, Daryl Brooks, okay, it was random people. Who cares, right? You know, that's his rationale, right? But to do it to your own family. Now, this is the line I don't even think Brooks would cross, which separates these two gentlemen and puts them in different categories. This dude is willing to kill his family for whatever personal issues he has. Meanwhile, Brooks is just a dickhead and doesn't really care that much about other human life outside of his clan. I don't think Brooks would ever, kill his mom or his dad or his cousin. So, I mean, you guys let me know what you think in the comments about the two men. If there's a difference, if they're very similar. But I think this guy took it to a whole new level when he's able to just, mom's dead already. Then you're like, fuck it, I'm going for daughter. Fuck it, I'm going for son. 3 for 1, baby. Like, that's pretty sick right there. That's like another level, in my opinion.
Jennifer Miller, Do you remember telling Miss Jennifer Miller in an interview? She asked what happened after the shooting with your mom outside. And you said,
Hold on, what page of the Jennifer Miller interview, Mr. O'Neill?
I hate this. Why is it that they're able to interject so much? Like, I don't know, maybe it's different court proceedings, different processes, but when Brooks was doing his thing, he was able to just read his exhibits and, state would follow along if they felt necessary, right? But in this case, it seems like every exhibit he starts to read, prosecution is just like, wait, hold on. What page? Where? Let me catch up. Okay. All right, good. Now we're on the page. Now you can, like, what? Be on your shit, bro. If he's asking a question, be on your shit. Like, why do they need to stop the whole proceeding to figure, like, he said where it was. He's like, what page? I don't know. That could just be me, but it feels it's a little annoying, and I feel like they should be on it enough. This should be serious enough to where they already know where he's going next. If he says page, exhibit, whatever, they're already there. Like the Daryl Brooks trial, they were on their shit. Everything he does, it's like they need a second to catch up. Like, what's up with that?
page 29,
Okay,
line 12 through 15.
Okay, whatever. Continue.
She asked you, I'm going to repeat the question. She asked you, what happened after the shooting with your mom outside? You replied, nothing. And she said, did anything happen to you? You said, no. Do you remember that?
No.
He don't remember nada, bro. You know, it's funny that homeboy don't remember shit when his dad start questioning them. You guys noticed that, right? He don't remember too much of nothing. When prosecution was asking him, he pretty much he had everything down. He remembered all right. Pops is asking, he don't know nothing, bro. Hey, I don't blame him neither. I'd be the same way if it was like that. You tried to take me out, motherfucker? Okay. Guess what? You going to jail forever. One moment.
So, you just said a while ago that, hold on one second. Now, you just said a while ago that I came back in and took your sister from her room to your mom's room and hit her with an axe, right?
Yes.
In your deposition, page 99. Did you hear the question, son?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember telling my attorneys in your deposition when they asked, where is your sister when mom and dad ran outside? And you replied, she was in my mom's room. Do you remember that?
okay, listen, again, the question is, Mr. Do you recall making that statement during your deposition? It's either yes, no, or I don't know. Don't interrupt me, Mr. O'Neill. Okay? So do you recall making that statement, Mr.
No.
It's kind of bogus. He's asking these questions stupidly, and to be honest, prosecution's gonna overtake this thing because guess what? You're not a lawyer. You don't know how to ask questions. And number three, your son don't want to answer the questions. That's the biggest problem. He don't want to answer the questions. I feel like he's playing stupid. It's even kind of irritating the judge. She's like, okay, son, this is the question. Can you answer that question? He played himself on this one. He definitely played himself on this because now son isn't cooperating and prosecution is just going to have their way because clearly he's cooperating with prosecution. They're going to just have their way.
And you said that I had my foot on you and went to strike you or strike a match and set you on fire. Is that correct?
Yes.
See, now, one more thing, right? I told you he's not answering no questions. He's acting dumb for everything. But you notice whenever there's a negative thing that he talks about or there's a negative whatever that he'll bring up and he's like, do you remember that? Oh, he'll quickly remember. Oh, yeah, I remember you had your foot on me and you covered me in gas and you dragged my mom out. Yeah, I remember all that shit. But all the little peculiarities where it kind of might help you or might not help you. Nah, we don't remember shit. We don't know nothing. I kind of like his son. His son is cool.
Do you remember Jennifer Miller interview, page 36, 37? Do you remember telling Jennifer Miller after she asked, how did you get burned? And you said, I got burned because the fire came to me.
Yeah, because the fire came to me, bruh. That could be the fire coming to you from a match. That could be the fire coming to you from over there. The fire came to me. You feel me? The fire came to me and consumed me, and that's why I have fucking burns. You got me fucked up. Like, he's an 8-year-old giving this statement, guys.
Do you remember that statement?
Just have to answer. Do you recall making that statement to Jennifer Miller?
No.
Why does he not answer? That's starting to piss me off. Like, he's not answering anything now. He just will sit there like, what the fuck are we doing? Answer the question. Like, maybe he's really making a statement. He's pissing me off more than he is his ex-father. Like, what's going on? That was pretty funny. His son just refuses to answer questions, quite literally refuses to answer questions. That might actually be the thumbnail of this video. But anyways, this just shows the dysfunction in the family. His father cross-examining his son, dysfunctional as fuck, trying to go back. So what he does, it's not quite the Darrell Brooks case. He doesn't really go into exhibits and stuff, which Brooks likes to do. He just goes to a bunch of reports and says, is it true that you remember that? But is it true that you said this? And it'll be something slightly different, right? And he'll try to make it seem like his son isn't, like, consistent enough to give the story or to be questioned. But anyways, people, we're getting toward the end of the Ronnie Oneal case. There's not much footage up here, which is crazy. But I hope you guys are enjoying the Ronnie Oneal trial as we get toward the end of it. Until the next one, people, stay inside, stay safe. I love you guys. More merch is coming. I shouldn't say more merch. Merch in general is coming. I'm working on the website, so keep that in mind. Save your pennies up because we about to have some hoodies for the winter. Keep in mind December hoodies, people. I'm out of here.